Do you ever go into mad scientist mode and something just kind of accidentally turns out sort of cool, and then your first thought is, well, crap. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. There's no way I can duplicate that. Does that happen to you? Yeah, happens to me a lot. Happened to me today. I have spent most of my day trying to reproduce the cool effect thing that I got earlier, and I think I almost have it, so now I'll film it. Of course, you know, when the magic happens, the camera's never rolling. That's just the way it always is. Here's what I'm making, and I'm calling these polished stones, or the polished stone technique. I don't know why. They just look like polished stones to me. And so that's what I'm calling it. And these are very weird shapes because they were the throwaway parts to another project I was doing. I'll show you what I was doing. Okay, I don't know why, but I just thought that I could do a sort of a painty mixed media version of a tunnel card, you know? Remember those? Or do we still do them? I don't know. Anyway, so I thought I would just use this little brochure and just go through and cut out holes. I don't know why that one looks like a uterus, but it does. That's all I see when I look at it. But you know, you start out with the little one and then the holes get bigger so you can kind of get the peekaboo thing. So that's what I was playing with. And I was using the a bunch of the different Tattered Angels sprays on here, and it's these pieces that I just sort of haphazardly tore out, because, you know, this was just my prototype. Those are these, and that's what I started playing on, and this ended up being way better than that. I've been playing with this to try to, you know, reproduce this effect on purpose. And I think I've got something pretty close to it. So let's give it a shot. I've tried it on full sheets, and for some reason it just wasn't the same as these little ones. So I don't know. I think there's something magic in the little torn pieces. I'm not sure what that's all about. But I tore some more just because these were so great and my full sheets were not. I mean, they were okay, but not fabulous. Let me show you. Okay, I tried it on plain white cardstock. It was okay, but I'm just not really thrilled with it. It's not the same. See? Okay. So I got another magazine sheet and tried it, and there's some magic in the magazine sheet, I guess. I don't know if it's the coated paper or what, but this is what I'm going for. Not so much this, even though this is lovely. It's just not what I want. So here's what you need if you want to do this. And this actually turns out. You're going to need some magazines, and not like a fashion magazine. It needs to have glossy, kind of thick, but not super thick glossy pages. Let me find one. Okay, you can send off for travel brochures from different states and cities in the U.S. and they're free, and a lot of them will ship overseas. You just, you know, have to check. If I remember, I will put a link down below where you can go and look for some of these. But these have fairly glossy text weight sheets. They're not super heavy duty high gloss sheets, but they are a better quality than your average fashion magazine. Those pages tend to be kind of neat. These are pretty good. And these are even a little bit better. These are a little bit heavier, a little glossier, and this is what you need. Some kind of glossy magazine page. So, you rip you a page out or two. Rip it up if you want, or, you know, keep it whole. It will work intact. But first thing you want to do is paint it, and I have used on these are from those travel brochures, and I have painted them with of this decor and DIY paint from Tattered Angels. This color's called Crystal. The only other one I have is this delicious jade color. I've used both work. So it's this formula that you need. Color doesn't matter. It does kind of tend to tint your what you're doing, and I don't even know if you can tell, but this one I painted the background white. It started out white cardstock. This one I painted with the crystal decor paint. This one I painted with the jade. It's got kind of just a blue undertone to it, but still very pretty, and the colors still show up. But you can see there is a little bit of a difference, even though it's the exact same colors were used. So, start with that one, paint it on, let it dry, and then if you are using these little things, actually I tore these out and then painted them. I don't think it really matters, do whatever. On this little mat, so I can just spray on here. Now you want to get out your Tattered Angels sprays. And you can use any, oh, no, you can't hear me. Okay. These are the ones that I have. And you can use any and all of the formulas. So I've got the Plain Jane baseboard paints, I've got the chalkboard, I've got the Glimmer Mist, I have got the Simply Sheer. That's all of them, isn't it? And the baseboard. Did I already say that? Oh, I did. Baseboard. I said baseboard twice. So, okay. The Glimmer Mist, the baseboard. The baseboard twice. No, what happened? There. Okay. The Glimmer Mist, the chalkboard, the baseboard, the Simply Sheer. Those are the 4 spray formulas in the Tattered Mist paint line. Just use whatever colors. I have a bunch of colors that make no sense, and that's okay. You can use them. And if you make mud, I'll show you what to do. It's okay. We're actually going to kind of sort of make mud on purpose because these are, they're polished stones. They're rocks, you know, or sort of. You know, they're supposed to kind of look a little bit earthy. You know, not just a muddy mess, but a little earthy is fine. So, don't worry about what colors you have and if they go together or not, because I don't even know what colors go together, and I don't care. I use them all. Just deal with what happens. Okay, you might also need a bottle of, this is just a spray bottle with some diluted rubbing alcohol. It's about half alcohol, half water, and just any kind of rubbing alcohol that you have. In the UK, I think they call rubbing alcohol surgical spirits. It's pretty much the same thing. So, you might need that, and you're going to need a heat gun, some kind of a heat tool. I will put in the video description, or maybe on my blog page, William, I don't know how it's going to end up. Somewhere there will be a list of the colors and formulas that I use here. And also a link to the Canvas Corp brand's shop so that you can pick some of these up should you choose to do so. Will this work with different brands of sprays and paints? I don't know. I just happen to be using these and it just happened to work, so this is as far as I've gotten with it. Alright. I'm just going to start spraying. Okay, there was one. That was a baseboard sunburst. Now, this is Glimmer Mist in Key Lime Pie. And Simply Sheer in Safety Orange. Baseboard paint and Purple Pansies. The sprayer on this one gives me fits. Sometimes it sprays, sometimes it doesn't. That is kind of the nature of spray inks. Okay. This is the chalkboard paint in 7 C's. And chalkboard paint in Ruby Slipper. That one's just kind of... That's doing some weird things too, isn't it? Okay. And Simply Sheer and Peony. Totally lost all of my yellow. Yellow just kind of fixes everything anyhow. So, yeah. There you have it, and you can already see it kind of starting to do its thing. You want to have a blotting page handy, another painted piece to blot up if you've just got way too much paint going on. You can blot it, and then you're going to get some cool patterns on there. Of course, all your little papers are going to stick to it, but that's alright. Now, you can give it a little squirt with your water and alcohol. And can you see the little dots it creates? And you dry. Now as you dry, the paint's going to start to make more dots. I'm not sure what you can see on camera, but the heat will make those little dots even without the alcohol. And it's just the paints, it's just the nature of them, it's just what they do. You can see the little dots coming up. I'll have to show you on a full sheet, you can see it even better. Oop, that little guy got stuck. See, he didn't have any alcohol on him, and he's making dots. Now as these start to dry, you can kind of get a better idea of what color they're going to be. So this one's got way too much red, that one's got way too much green. So we can kind of blot them off on each other. And this blotting thing is actually kind of important because that's what gives you a lot of the pattern that's so cool. Okay, once they're dry enough to handle, you can pull them off and see what you got. Some of them may just be perfect, but some may need a little something, so you can go back in and give them a little something if you feel like they need it, and I always do. Okay, I'll just kind of play with them and smush them together until they start looking like you want them. These are looking pretty good to me. If you get some that are just too muddy for you to tolerate, they've got a puddle on there, just take a damp brush and you can just kind of wick up the excess mud. See? Problem solved. And once that's good, then you want to dry them. If they don't have enough speckles on them, you can give them some more alcohol and water, and that'll help speckle them a little bit. Okay, they're just about dry. Just kind of get rid of any excess little puddles on them. Now, what you want to do is come in with a little of the, you can use either one or both, Glimmer Glaze paints or Glimmer Glam. These are the ones with the glitter in it, and this one is got the fine glitter. These have the chunky glitter. Shake them up real good, and then just kind of get a little bit on there, here and there. Okay, that one. Then I will just use a brush. Oh, this one is Glimmer Glaze in Blue Cheese, and this one is Cupcake Glimmer Glam with the big chunky glitters. And this is Tinsel Glimmer Glam. Now, I'm going to heat them just a little bit because I don't want them to run too much, but then you can spray them with some alcohol water and get it to move in a little bit. Can do a little squishing on these too. Let's see. This is just fun to me. You could just sit here all day long and throw paint and smush and then spray junk on it and see what happens. I bet if I go over the top of them with a clear sealer, that they would be even more fabulous. Oh man, okay, we're going to have to do that. Okay, since these are all still kind of drying, let's set them aside. I'm going to pull these out because those are the ones I did earlier today and they're completely dry. Let's put these over here to finish drying. And then we'll put something clear on these other ones. I'm thinking maybe just some varnish. Maybe just a diluted varnish. I know that anything wet I put on there, you know, you risk bleeding, reactivating and bleeding. I'm not familiar enough with these paints to know if that's a problem with them. We're going to find out. Alright, now let's get these little guys and let's get my this thing. I'm going to turn it over. Spread these out on here, and then use some varnish. I keep a container of 50/50 gloss varnish. This is half polyurethane water-based varnish and half water, and I usually use, the name is polycrylic. That's it. Minwax polycrylic. You can get it at the hardware store or off Amazon. It's just a water-based varnish that works real well, that I really like. I can't find a brush. Here. Okay, let's use this brush and this varnish, and let's see what happens. Just going to put a little bit on there. Give it a light coat. Don't see any major bleeding. Not yet, anyway. Yeah, a little bit. It's picking up a little bit, but I think if we just brush it on carefully, you know, just like one stroke and don't go over and over and over, I think we'll be okay. Let's just see. Because see, it's not picking it up and pulling it. I'm not ruining my design, but it is picking it up a little bit. So just do it carefully. I'm much too impatient to wait, so let's try these. And there they are. Gorgeous. I think, all in all, these turned out really well. Now, if you want to, you can use a graphite pencil or a Stabilo. Just dip it in water and kind of go around the edge, just to make sure you have no white edges showing, and it just gives it a little bit more of a finished look. So there is a fun technique you can use with your Tattered Angels paints. I mean, pretty much all you need is one of the decor and DIY paints for a base coat, and then any of the sprays, and you know, then you're set. And then these make excellent finishing touch, the ones with the glitter in them. So for this Mad Scientist episode, that's it. The end.